and welcome to part 4 of the Dark Souls Ultimate Guide.
Now it's time to quickly rattle through Darkroot Basin.
We do get this done.
Not Darkroot Basin, Darkroot Gardens rather.
Yeah, we do get this done pretty quickly. It's quite a short area of the game. There isn't really that much to it, at least the part that we do anyway.
Yeah, well, it could be the fact that this is actually quite a long area and I'm just so deeply skilled that it looks like a short area.
Well, that's up to you to
anyway,
decide.
so this is a very good area for one. These little guys. These are demonic bushes, or Ents, I believe they're called in the official, in the actual game I believe their title is Ent. But these guys are really handy throughout the entire game because they drop all of the moss. It's kind of what we're hoping for here, is to get a couple of moss drops because we don't really want to spend too many souls buying moss.
Despite the fact that...
Oh yeah, you can hit them while they're in the ground. I'll see if I get a display of this.
Nah. You do it like later on.
Yeah, later on I do. But if you two-hand your weapon like the Drake Sword, I didn't really want to do that, but it just happened. So yeah, they dropped the blood red moss clump. I believe this is a purple moss clump.
So first of all, we're going to show you how to get all the items, and then
including this one right here that not a lot of people know about.
Well, you can see it when you come back.
Yeah, but not a lot of people grab it in their first run through. In fact, I didn't know that was there until my third or fourth gameplay through Dark Souls.
The point of this...
Oh yeah, hidden bonfire. Be careful, I nearly fell off.
The point of coming here though, really, was obviously to do the moonlight butterfly, which is a completely optional boss.
But you can't pass up the souls that it gives you though, as a good amount. So we're going to show you how to grab everything in this area now. In here on the right, I don't think this is worth it at all, but we do it anyway. You get attacked off 3 of these Ents. Yeah, you'll see me here. See, you can hit them while they're on the ground. You need to wait until they pop up and finish their animation because they have invincibility frames. So there's 3 of them here. If you pick up that item, all 3 of them will spring up on you. But the item, in my opinion, isn't really worth it. I think it's
just
like
a shitty soul. Yeah,
it's like a 400 soul packet at best. Yeah, 400. So on the plus side though, they do drop more moss. But it's an otherwise crappy thing to do. So moving along right here, going through the first fog wall, this is really going to take us into Darkroot Gardens. You want to go to your left, and just beyond this tree, be very careful. There's a little Ent just chilling. He's just chilling. What happens is, and I'll explain it to you in a second. You can see that sign there on the right. Well, it was on the right. The message that someone had left behind for us. When you go up here, that Ent will spring out and chase you down. And it's kind of annoying because you've got this thing on the tree that's going to attack you, and the Ent there. So partisan.
Yeah, pick up the partisan and then continue along. We're going to show you, you can jump down to this area here, which we'll show you later, but you want to, once you run down here, hit this tree, which you can kill, which it actually took me like 3 or 4 playthroughs to know you could even do this. Anyway, so here we're about to get our first ring of the game, well, the first useful ring of the game.
Yeah, other than the ring of favour anyway.
We'll actually be using this ring pretty much the entire way through the game, and it is the wolf ring, which is a great ring.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it gives you 40 poise, which is enough to take at least one hit from more or less every weapon in the game that isn't a great version of the weapon, such as great swords, great axes, ultra swords, that kind of thing. Yeah.
To explain the concept of poise while we're here, obviously in relation to the guide, just follow, go where we're going. Around here, actually, there is quite a large soul packet for this point in the game, which is very hidden, really. Not so much hidden, but it's the fact that it's just round this bit of the corner. Most people just completely miss this. Anyway,
so yeah, just be careful not to get ganged up in these frog rays because they actually can stun lock you, and the game, being Dark Souls, does this thing where it times all the enemies' attacks perfectly to fuck you up in the most efficient way possible. So yeah, Soul of the Proud Knight.
To explain what poise is you have a poise value, and all weapons also do poise damage, and when your poise is reduced to 0, you'll be staggered, and if you have 0 poise to begin with, then obviously you'll just get staggered instantly. You won't be able to take a hit. So poise essentially allows you to attack through being attacked, so it's a very handy stat to have. High poise builds can just tank a load of damage and just still put out a huge amount of damage.
The minimum poise that you would want on your build for PvP purposes is probably 53.
53? Why?
53, because at 53 poise you can take a one-handed swing from a great sword.
Oh,
If you're getting hit by an ultra great sword, a great hammer, a great axe, something like that, then you should really be trying to fix your rolling technique, because those things are easy to escape. Now, we just killed a couple of the stone giants that are in Darkroot. What they drop is they drop their weapon, the stone greatsword, and their shield, the stone great shield. Now, the stone great shield is nowhere near as good as it once is what it appears to be for them.
Do you mean the stone great sword?
No, the stone great shield is what I'm talking about. The stone great sword, however, is alright. The stone great sword, much like the way you see with the drake sword there, with the two-handed heavy attack, will send the wave. The stone great sword applies tranquil walk of peace. Now, this is where you can jump down.
You can jump down here to get to the lower area without having to go down and kill the tree.
I'm looking for the corpse of the froggery as a reference to where you want to land, because it will usually be within this little gully, or it will be just beyond the rock on the left.
Well, just in this area, when you jump down, you won't die.
As long as you're 100% health. All fall damage percentile based, I believe I mentioned it before, so you can take this jump. As long as you're at full health, no matter what your health is, you'll survive this jump, which is really good. So, where was it? Oh yeah, the Stone Great Sword applies Tranquil Walk of Peace as a two-handed heavy attack. If you don't know what Tranquil Walk of Peace is, it's a faith miracle. What it does is it applies an AoE effect that lasts 10 seconds. It slows everything that's inside the AoE effect. What it does is it brings them to the point where they would be at over 75% weight, and what that means is that they cannot roll, and their sprint is essentially useless. So it's really handy for PvP if you're using a very fast build. You can use Tranquil Walk of Peace, run in there and smash them as they can't avoid you. So, as always, two-hand your sword, get behind these stone giants, take them on. If they cast Tranquil Walk of Peace, just get behind them and keep swinging. Make sure you leave yourself enough stamina to roll as well, because if they hit you once, it's a good chance they'll follow up.
Now, here is where you can summon Witch Beatrice. This is
so make sure you're human for this point.
Yeah, it's a very hidden NPC that I've missed pretty much every time until he told me. He basically makes this boss a complete and utter piss take, especially combined with the Caduceus round shield at this point. If you have the crest shield, if you went to this island and got that, it's right to begin with. If you have the crest shield, then that's obviously a better choice. Yeah. But if you don't have it, this is the best shield. Aside from that,
the Moonlight Butterfly does only magical damage, so the Caduceus shield blocks 65% damage. Heater shield, I believe, only blocks about 30%, something like that. Something that's much lower than the Caduceus shield. We know that the Caduceus shield is the highest magic defense block shield that you have at this point, unless, of course, you've went to this island.
So, normally we would say that you want to try and dodge its attacks, which you do, but with this shield you can block so much damage from its attacks that really blocking or rolling is a viable option.
Also, look how much health that's lost. That was one soul arrow from Beatrice. That's what you need to be careful of. You seen there, Beatrice was blocking me as I was trying to get around her.
So you can see how little damage its one attack there does.
You would take twice as much. Just avoid that attack, definitely. Don't try and block that. That does a ton of damage. Just try and avoid that at all costs. These little spikes, however, you can just easily block through them, no problem.
With its slower gobby attack that you want to try and dodge, you want to wait for it to get as close as it possibly can before you dodge it. Now, just once it lands, wail into it, and with Beatrice, you should take more than one time.
There is one issue I have with Beatrice at that point, which is that for some reason the stupid cunt thinks it would be better to run in and wail on it with her stick in melee as opposed to take a few steps back and beat it to death with soul arrows. It's something that really annoys me about her AI, as opposed to being all cast. I think Beatrice should be set on cast always, as opposed to, oh, butterflies landed, let's go in and beat it up. She's far more effective with her sorceries.
It's not really a big deal. Anyway,
it is a big deal.
Here we pick up the Watchtower Basement Key, the Divine Ember, and a Homeward Bone. We don't want a Homeward Bone quite yet.
No. You can Homeward Bone at this point if you want, but you're going to miss out on a very good armour set. Right now we're going to grab
you could have got the armour set before you came back, but we just wanted to go out and
this, however, is the safest way to do it, because if you grab the armour on the way there, when you summon Beatrice, you will more than likely get locked in on that little tower, and if Beatrice is summoned and there's enemies aggro nearby, she'll fight them and probably die, which means you won't get Beatrice for the Moonlight
You could
fight.
grab the armour and then run back, or grab the armour and then Homeward Bone back to the bonfire and just do a trick like that.
See,
that's really easy.
I've seen people do the Homeward Bone, but I don't like risking it. I prefer just to sprint it. Homeward Bone, if you get hit, you're pretty much fucked. But if you do it this way, like you can see here, the armour is just dead ahead. You want to run and just avoid that. Yeah, like that. Grab the armour and sprint.
Run.
run through the trees. Just keep running. Don't stop until you're back at the Undead Parish, essentially.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we need to sit here and farm a little, don't we?
Well, at this point, we want to have
20,000
souls to open up the Artorias gate.
Yeah.
This is where we will be getting literally one of the 2 best items in the game for PvE, in our opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Alright, so right here, just take out this last demonic bush and we should be able to rest. Yep, bonfire sparked, we can rest the bonfire. Now, you have the ability to give yourself an easy extra 1200 souls. We didn't do that because we're keeping all the boss souls just to show you essentially what your inventory could be like. So you pop all your soul packets here. I believe we're about maybe 1,000 short or something like that. If it's anything less than 1,200, more than likely be more wise for you to pop your moonlight soul. All it does is it gives you a spear which scales only with intelligence and does only magic damage, or a shield which has shitty block percentages and it's R2 it's L2 sorry, as opposed to a parry, is that it will lob a magic ring at your opponent. But the issue with that is that it used to be really good because it's scaled with your intelligence, making sorcery incredibly powerful. It made bosses trivial because you could just back off and smash them with this magic ring because it used up barely any durability.
They could have just made it use more durability or something. They didn't have to make it completely useless.
Yeah, I
now
mean,
it has 200 fixed damage.
It used to do upwards of 500 damage per hit. Now its damage is fixed at 200, yeah. So it's not as good as what it used to be. I mean, it would be good at this point in the game, but by the time you get it, you're in Anor Londo and 200 damage is worthless.
Yeah, essentially.
You should be doing between 300 and 400 by that point in Anor Londo. Now, that doesn't sound like a big jump, but in Dark Souls term, an extra 5 damage is a big jump. So right here we're going to take on this tiny demon. I did try to roll over its tail, but that didn't really work for me.
So you want to stay under its left arm?
As I get fucked here. So just be careful of that. That dodge there was lucky. And once again, keeping your Estus. I made it through the entire Moonlight fight and all the Dark without using a single Estus.
Yeah.
So yeah, just showing how good that heal miracle is. And this is another good technique. I usually use this one where you lure it to the front of the stairs and then just drop down because all its attacks will swing over your head. It can't hit you if you're on the lower set of stairs, which is fantastic. Somehow that flattened me.
Like...
I called bullshit on that one when it happened. And
so this was actually more difficult than the butterfly.
Yeah. You just need to be careful because I mean this guy is difficult. What you could do is run past him, rest the bonfire, then come down and beat him. It would have probably been much better to do that because then you spawn closer to him. But
so we have 19,000 souls here, and basically this guy gives us a handy dandy 1,000 souls and gives us a demon titanite as well. But the extra 1,000 souls allows us to buy the Crest of Artorias off Andre. So everything worked out quite nicely.
Yeah. Just in case you wonder what I'm doing, just run around in circles. I'm actually trying to get him away from the wall so I can get behind him, but he's pretty adamant on keeping his back to that there fucking wall. Until now. But yeah, try to get him away from the wall because when an enemy's got their back to the wall, it's really difficult to take advantage of their position. But as you've seen there, back off for a little while, it'll move out. We got our Demon Titanite, we got 2,000 souls for that actually. So there we go, that's us got enough money to buy the Crest of Artorias and then some. And the next part of this video is going to be all luck based.
I've seen one of those.
To put it simple. At this point you're nowhere near good enough for PvP in Darkroot. Darkroot doesn't have what's known as the upper level limit, where what that means is although you're level 12 you can invade someone who is level 100.
You could potentially invade someone level max level.
Yeah, you can invade someone who's level 700 odds. It just depends on how unlucky you are. But what we tend to do, which is really handy, is quite simply invade and wait. Don't go for a kill, just wait until someone else invades and then the both of you just try and take the host down. As long as the host dies, not necessarily by your final hit, but as long as the host dies, that's enough for the game to go, yeah, that's fine, yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
So now we homeward bone back to the Darkroot bonfire, and it's time to open the Crest of Artorias. It's time to open the sealed door to Darkroot. There is another way there, but this is probably the quickest way to get the Ring of Fog at this point in the game.
Now, the reason we want that is essentially the reason why we're doing this, to get the Ring of Fog. Now, what the Ring of Fog does is it severely decreases the aggro range of enemies.
And also makes it difficult in some situations for you to see yourself. The Ring of Fog gives you about 80% transparency.
Yeah, something like that.
What that essentially does is it reduces the aggro range of pretty much everything in the game by about 60%.
Now this makes Blighttown so incredibly trivial because the
Bloatflies.
the blow dart guys, they all just not only that, the amount of distance that it takes for enemies to stop aggroing you is also severely shortened as well.
Yeah.
So if you're running away from an enemy, you can, as soon as you just create a little bit of distance, the enemy just stops. So I mean, the Ring of Fog really is a fantastic item, and although
this shouldn't happen.
Yeah, this guy should de-aggro by the time you come in here. But anyway,
yeah, so you see the Drake Sword there didn't do anywhere near enough damage to do anything to him.
Yeah, so this is quite a high level area.
Yeah, which is why most players don't come by here until they're going to kill Sif, which is round about level 60, level 70-ish.
Now, something we should have mentioned at this point is if you run around and hug the wall here, if you run around behind these set of stairs, you can get the stone armour. We do get this later on, but we might as well just mention it now while you're here.
Yeah, we didn't actually plan on coming past this bridge just because the Guardians decided to chase us that far.
Yeah.
But they lose aggro soon, and once they leave, we go round and we speak to Alvina, who is head of the Forest Covenant.
Now, of course, remember, we don't condone ganking. We are one of these people that like to do the whole one-on-one thing.
Yeah, you know, drop a red sign and Undead Burg, let people summon as if they want a fight, something like that, or wait till we get invaded, I suppose.
But regardless, if you go into the forest, you know what you're dealing with, really. And obviously you can only do this if you're online, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you're pretty much going to be online, so it's not a big deal. So we want to talk to Alvina, join the Covenant, yada yada yada. And with that, it means we can. She gives us the Covenant ring. You equip the Covenant ring, and that allows you to invade other people in the garden. And you just invade people. You just go into someone's world, wait for someone else to come in that's probably a higher level. Both of you kill the guy that's in the garden, and then you get your kill, your souls, and once you've done that 3 times, you can then get the Ring of Fog off Alvina.
Yeah, along with some various other rewards. The way it works with the Cat Covenant, which is kind of weird, is that every time you kill someone when you're summoned via the ring, they will drop a random item. Now that can be any item in the game. I've had a Titanite slab once. Several chunks of various colours. I've not had any
so you
weapons.
can get divine blessings as well.
I've not had any weapons. It's more.
I don't think you can.
No, it's more along the lines
just
of
like
Titanites, consumable items.
Yeah, that's really
stuff like that. Yeah, it's Titanites and consumables. I've had a couple of Twinkling Titanites every now and again.
I tend to normally get Twinkling Titanites and Green Titanites.
Yeah, they're pretty common. Green Titanites are really common. But so yeah. Join the Covenant. Alvina seems to talk in how to put this?
Cat.
And
like the way she speaks is sort of more. It's as if her entire vocabulary is like a sort of riddle.
Yeah.
As in, don't go knocking. Whatever the fuck she says, I can't remember what she says.
Summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech you.
Essentially, it's her own paraphrase version of
who will by their honour work tirelessly with thee.
Yeah, you didn't come here if you weren't looking for something.
Yeah,
essentially,
something like that.
You came here because you wanted something.
Anyway,
so like, don't go knocking where thou art yonder or some shit like that. She says, I can't remember.
She explains the Covenant rules.
Thou must
heed the golden rule.
The clan is thine.
Which is basically just don't hit people that are the forest hunters, which are the people outside.
Although it says here that if you double cross the Forest Covenant, you cannot join again, that is actually false. You can do whatever you want, and you can always join the Forest Covenant again, unless you kill Alvina.
Yeah.
All you have to do, if you join the Forest Hunters Covenant and you accidentally make a
request
mistake,
absolution from the guy that we showed you in the last video.
Yep.
I've heard all about you. I'm
Jon, what's his name?
Captain of the Brigade.
Yep, Jon Oswald of Kirin. You can request absolution, 500 souls per level, and you will, of course,
fighting.
What that does is, not only does it actually clear your sins, probably should have mentioned that last video, it doesn't only clear your sins if you hit an NPC you didn't want to hit, if you've made some sort of mistake like that, like maybe you've accidentally hit the blacksmith, like I've done one playthrough and had to kill him and then decided to restart because it wasn't worth doing anymore. I could have went and requested absolution, that would have been that.
Traitors
but I'm stupid and didn't know that at the time. But yeah, request absolution is
That's
pretty
about
good
it.
early on.
Don't
I
worry.
did request absolution
good
on
time,
one of my
isn't it?
higher level builds,
Great to have you
and
with
it
us.
cost me in the region
Good
of about
hunting to you.
was it 500 a level. It must have been about between level 90 and 100.
So a good amount.
Yeah, a good. In fact, I believe it was 65,000 souls it cost me.
So anyway, this is Shiva in the East and his little ninja friend. We're not going to do anything with these guys right now, but we're
He is one
in
of a kind
Blighttown.
from the East.
Once you've talked to this guy here, he will show up in Blighttown,
Always
and then we're going to
slinking
show you
in the
what
shadows.
happens if you can
But
kill him
he
to
is
get
a
some
tough
items.
We'll also show you his
You'll see
inventory
what I
because in
mean.
Blighttown he becomes a merchant.
And he sells a bunch of interesting stuff.
What I really don't like though, and I'm going to go into this now because it is Shiva of the East, a lot of what he was meant to be was cut from this game. Now, there are several things in the game that hint to you not to trust Shiva. Of course, what's his name? Lautrec being one of them. He also warned you about patches as well, actually. I believe, who else was it? I think Oswald warned you. Patches warned you.
Yeah,
And I
Patches
believe
does.
the Crestfallen Warrior at Violent Shrine warned you at some point as well, not
Maybe.
to trust Shiva of the East, because he'll double cross you. That was a huge line that was cut from the game. Shiva of the East was actually meant to stab you in the back at some point.
Well, at least
and
everything-
that was removed. Everything points
yeah.
towards that anyway.
So
So
anyway-
right now, just sprint, get out of here.
Yeah,
Fuck
so
out.
many. There's so many demonic bushes here.
And they're much higher level than the previous demonic bush you fought, because this is generally a level 40 plus area.
yeah,
So just get out. There's no reason to. Don't attack. You can attack anything in the forest except the other forest protectors. You can kill these demonic bush. You won't affect the forest in any way.
just don't kill any of the humans.
Leave
But
the
at
humanoid
least that's
NPCs.
if you're in the Covenant and you're trying to do this, don't hit the humanoid NPCs.
If you're better than us and you actually manage to fend off a couple of the forest protectors, then by all means go and kill them. I believe it's an easy. I think it's 8,000 souls you get by the time you kill them all. I believe your first run is 10,000 because the two Ring of Fog wearers with the claymore don't come back.
Now, anyway, a lot of people use this area as a farming area, but really it's actually a pain in the arse, and you only get like 6,000 souls for
Yeah.
a bunch of time-consuming shit. We're going to show you what we consider, which is 100% definitely the best farming area in the game. You gotta get like 100,000 souls in like 15 minutes. It's absolutely
You
get more than that
in 15 minutes if you've got enough poise.
yeah. So I mean, we'll show you, and then it's much better. So anyway,
So yeah, rings on, and then instantly we're called to the world of the Cat Covenant.
so
where
we've
Alvin
sped the
lives.
video up here. Really, this is just, you can see that we got invaded and we
We get hit with Tranquil Walk of Peace. That's what that circular ring around us was.
and we got ganged up on
But
by two people.
we're still human. We've still got all our souls. We didn't lose
Yeah.
anything. So this can take you as long as you want. It only took us about half an hour.
But we sped it up,
obviously it's all
and
been
it's
cut down.
fine.
But it took us about half an hour. But it can take you anywhere between 10-15 minutes, depending how lucky you are, all the way through until a couple of hours if you get the determination. But you don't
Yeah.
actually lose anything is the main point. Also, the fact is you get a ton of souls because the people you invade, if I'm correct, is the amount of souls that it requires them to level up. You get a percentage of that as your reward. So if someone needs 50,000 souls to level up, you could walk away with 10,000 souls for killing them. Along those lines, so not only do you gain the Ring of Fog, after beating 3 people,
And
you gain
items.
a ton of souls as well. Also, the 3 random items you get as well while killing them. The Ring of Fog actually comes as a 4th item, because you get that as a reward for killing 3 people, but you still get the 3 items from killing them.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Cat
As
Covenant is
well
a very
as-
good place to be. The only issue I have with it is that you have to wear the Cat Covenant ring, and you get ganked constantly because this is Alvina's forest that she can't control.
Anyway, you can see it can take quite a long time to actually invade anyone,
Yeah,
but at the same time, after this one period of taking a while, we got 3 instantly, and we done it all in a winner, and that was us.
bear in mind the conditions for invading someone are pretty narrow. They
Just have to be human and in the area.
They have to be human, they have to be in the area, and they cannot have killed Sith. If they've killed the boss, who is Sith the Great Grey Wolf, if they've killed Sith, you cannot invade them. If they are in hollow form, you can't invade them. I'm trying to think, I'm sure there's one other condition.
No, that's really it. So there we go. We're finally invading the next world, and we're waiting for like 20 minutes here or something like
Yeah,
that.
that
Really
took us
a
a
while.
couple of minutes on.
Anyway, so there's this guy
Twitter.
here. We just ran away and we waited for someone else to come in. So
Yeah, because he's obviously going to be a much higher level than we are. I mean, we're like
So,
level 20s.
another guy shows up and then we try and attack him, but we do absolutely no damage because he's a much higher level.
At least we're providing a distraction, which is more than enough to get him killed.
Exactly. So we got a Titanite shard for that, and we got a
Our
little bit of
shard,
souls.
which will come in handy later on in the game because we end up having exactly enough to get our weapon to +10.
It's true. So it was great.
They're
So-
just waiting again, so that's one victory for us. We just need to get 2 more, and that's us get the Cat Covenant done. That's us finished with the Covenant. We don't need to use it ever again. Next Covenant we join will be the what's it called? The not
Chaos
the Dark
Covenant.
Race, the Chaos Covenant. That's the one.
So invade someone else again, and we see that another
It's
person had
already-
also invaded
Yep.
and killed him, and it was the same guy as last time. We get another shard and we get another
I
large
believe
shard.
this next guy we kill. Keep an eye on the amount of souls we get for
No,
this.
it's not this one.
Is it not
was,
this one?
It was on the guide build, the test build. that,
Damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
on
the
the
test
test
build,
one
we
we
got dropped
finished.
24,000 souls from a guy.
Yeah, we finished PvP in the Cat Covenant with about 35 to 40,000 souls extra.
Yeah.
We didn't use them to level up. We
So-
kept the test and the guide going
As
pretty
you can
much
see,
alongside
so
each other.
as you can see, we got a Titanite chunk from that, which now explains how we got that extra one that we couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Which actually meant that we were able to upgrade our weapon and our wand
thou
perfectly.
dost come.
But anyway,
My hope
as you can see, we just invaded that world there, and the guy had already
Here is thy
died, and we got our
reward.
right
It
our
is for
souls
thee.
and our right
Yeah.
and our third guild. So
It
it's
can
really
be
that
something
easy.
as simple as you just
Make
being
no
there at the right
attempt to
in the right
show
place at the right
thyself
time. So
as hollow.
tough it out for 3 victories. Once you get 3 victories, you get the Ring of Fog. The game becomes trivialised beyond all belief.
Yeah.
Like we've never used the Ring of Fog for a playthrough and have no idea. We didn't even know
I
how
like that
powerful this
which
ring
I
could
hear.
be.
Yeah.
Like I've used Hidden
I
Body.
felt
I think
about
Hidden
it.
Body is brilliant,
It's a
but it's
special
temporary, so it's balanced. But the Ring of
very
Fog is
moment my
permanent
eyes
and it
first
is
set upon
brilliant. Like
Here's
I almost don't want to ever
It
use
is
it again
for
because it
thee.
makes it kind of too easy
May
to
thine
just
skill
traverse all these
guide
different areas and terrains.
Yeah, it's really is
So
true.
there's the Ring of Fog, and we get a Divine Blessing out of it as well. I believe you always get the Divine Blessing.
Yeah, after your first kill, you get a Divine Blessing.
First kill Divine Blessing, second kill nothing, third kill you get your Ring of Fog.
So
And
now
you
from
always
here
get rewards.
we are going to, I think we go back to Andre, and then in the next video we are going to be doing
Capra Demon.
yep, and the lower Undead Burg.
You guys are going to love the Capra Demon. If you can't block a roll yet, you're going to love him. Do you know why? Because he's going to fucking kill you. Here's a difficulty barrier that you guys will definitely need to break for the rest of the game. The Capra Demon is, I would say,
It's the first
For-
wall, really.
the Capra Demon is more than a wall. It is the first fortress.
Now,
It's difficult.
the thing with the Capra Demon is despite the fact all of our experience, it still took us 2 goes to beat him, just because
So
of
it
how
took you.
well, it took me 2 goes,
Yeah.
but the point is the Capra Demon is a very unpredictable boss.
It's not the Capra Demon himself who's difficult.
It's his dogs.
It's his mutts. The Capra Demon, you'll see him when he's there, is essentially, do you remember the Pokemon Cubone? It's essentially a Cubone, but instead of holding a bone, he's
holds
holding
2 giant machetes.
yes, 2 giant machetes stained with the blood of his most recent victims. And he's also got 2 guard dogs in there with him who are a pain in the arse. But the idea with the Capra Demon, which we'll explain in the next video, I suppose,
Is
may as
to
well just
use
leave
the
it
Ring
to
of
them.
Fog, and it makes it a hell of a lot fucking easier.
Yeah, Ring of Fog. I'll explain why the Ring of Fog is valuable against the Capra Demon in the next video when we get to it, but it's a bit of information you probably won't want to miss because it's something that I've only recently just discovered while we were doing the guide. We only recently just discovered how useful the Ring of Fog can be
Yeah.
in that situation. So, right now, I believe we're going to give the Divine Ember to Andre, or have we already done that?
No, we're
No,
going to
we've
do
done
that.
that. No, I think we've done that because we had to get the crest off him.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so that's essentially it. So we're going to go up to the bonfire. We've got 5,500 souls left over.
Which is like a decent amount.
Yeah, it's a good amount. It can be more, of course, for yourself. If it is more for yourself, then of course just put it into Vitality and Endurance until one's at 40 and one's at 30. I believe we stopped leveling up Endurance at
I
one
don't
point.
think we're fully leveled up yet. But anyway, yeah, there's the stats, and hope
Yep.
you enjoyed it. Hope it was
See you
helpful.
next
Thanks,
video.
bye.